friends, welcome back to my channel. I decided to make another video. This is my first official Christmas themed video. So many YouTubers are doing like 24 days of Bookmas and they've got a video every freaking day. It's Christmas related. It's not happening. The most I can do is improvised nutcracker with moose and nutcracker. Look out for the Rat King! Before we get into the video, that actually made me think of a thing that I wanted to say to everyone, which is y'all are really sleeping on the superior Macaulay Culkin holiday movie. Obviously, I'm talking about the 1993 live-action adaptation of Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker, starring Macaulay Culkin as Drosselmeyer's nephew, and then later on, the Nutcracker himself. I don't know. I grew up watching that and then I'm continuously baffled that no one knows what I'm talking about. But Macaulay Culkin did ballet. One time. Anyways, that's not what the video is about. The video is about my December TBR. During September and October, I am known as a spooky girl. And I am a spooky girl. But I'm just as, if not more passionate about the December month, the Christmas month, than I am about Halloween. I still have to decorate the outside of my house, but the inside is festive as frick. So since it is December, I am absolutely in the mood to read some holiday books. No, I'm not reading like Christmas romances and stuff. I'm not that type of girly. You know that. So I'm gonna show you some Christmassy, holiday, wintry books in my genre that I will be reading and that I think you should be reading as well. To show you the first book, we actually have to do some unboxing. This literally arrived as I was about to start filming. I was gonna just put up a picture of the book on the screen, but it's in here. Always cut towards yourself. Cut away from yourself. Ryan says I shouldn't give bad advice. Aw, the box is so cute. There's crimson stickers. I ordered 3 books for book of the month. The other 2 have nothing to do with this video, but I'll just show you them anyway. Keep these for the December wrap up. The actual book I want to show you though is The Kingdom of Sweets. Who is it by? Erica Johansson. Johansson? Probably Johansson, because it's Russian. Da, da, na, 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 na. It's a Nutcracker retelling. So this is an adult fantasy, and instead of the typical story of the Nutcracker that you've seen on stage or in movies or done by Barbie, this is now a story of 2 sisters, and Drosselmeyer is still in it. I don't really know what else is actually in it from the Nutcracker because I haven't read it yet. But from the description, it sounds like possibly a portal fantasy. Portal fantasy. Clara and Natasha. I'm surprised they went with Natasha and not Maria because usually the main girl in the Nutcracker is named either Clara or Maria depending on what you see, but they were like Natasha. Charming Clara is the favorite. She grows into a life of beauty and ease, and Natasha is relegated to her sister's shadow, ignored and unloved. But Natasha seizes the opportunity for revenge on Christmas Eve, as we all do. When Drosselmeyer arrives at the family gala with the Nutcracker, okay, so the Nutcracker is actually in this, the Nutcracker offers entry into an alternate world, the Kingdom of Sweets. Following Clara into the glittering land of snow and sugar, Natasha discovers a source of a power greater than Drosselmeyer, the Sugar Plum Fairy, who gets her own wondrous gifts and chilling bargains. Okay, so it's Fae. It's the Nutcracker but Fae. Am I going to like this? Probably not. I'm not a fan of Fae, and I didn't know that's what this was going to be. I should have seen it coming. It's the Sugar Plum Fairy. Okay, we'll give it a try. I said I was reading Christmas books. I love the Nutcracker. I see it every year in person in Toronto, and I watch my Macaulay Culkin DVD as well. Ugh. Okay, no, I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I'm excited. I'm excited. Nutcracker. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk about something a little more my speed, eh? Let's talk about Krampus by Bram. Now, there are a million stories of Krampus. He is a folk tale more than just a Bram creation. But Bram, if you have not heard of him before, is an illustrator slash artist as well as author, and his most popular book is Slewfoot, but he also has a Peter Pan retelling that I love called The Child Thief, and all of his books have illustrations throughout. Exhibit A. So this is his version of Krampus. I've had this for a while. I actually was able to pick it up at a thrift store, which is crazy because Bram books these days are going for a lot more money than they used to be. So I'm really glad that I was able to get it when I did. And sorry, the actual title of this is Krampus the Yule Lord, but I call it Krampus. One Christmas Eve in a small hollow in Boone County, West Virginia, struggling songwriter Jesse Walker witnesses a strange spectacle. 7 devilish figures chasing a man in a red suit toward a sleigh and 8 reindeer. Basically, this songwriter is enchanted by Krampus at one point, and the lines of good and evil are blurred, and Krampus reveals some dark things about Santa, and Jesse has to sort of figure out how to get out of this. What is right? What is wrong? Merry Christmas, everyone. Ah, she's such a cutie. Look at her. I wish I looked like her. Moving on. I think it's a good idea to follow that up with some more folk tales. I've shown this book before. I think, oh, I talked about this one in my horror anthologies. Video is the word. Video. Y'all didn't like that video. Just saying. You didn't like it. Sorry. But hopefully you like it more this time because it's Christmas and other horrors by a lot of people. This is a winter solstice anthology, so it's not just Christmas stuff. It's a lot of different cultures, religions, folk tales, that sort of thing put together into this book. We've got Stephen Graham Jones, Alma Katsu, Cassandra Kaw, Josh Mallerman, and Garth Nix, among so many others. I'm just taking a flip through it here, and it mentions Celtic mythology, Finnish mythology, the Schnabelperchten, which are creatures from Austrian myth that'll punish you if your house isn't up to their standards of cleanliness during their annual visit. I know. A Santa Claus who is not the nice guy we like to believe he is, a carnivorous witch, young gods overthrowing older gods, a time-tripping nightmare on the shortest day of the year, and other strange horrors. And the first story in the book here is by Christopher Golden, who wrote All Hallows, among other things, and I'm a big fan of Christopher Golden, so that is exciting. His story is called The Importance of a Tidy Home, which I believe is going to be about the Schnabelperchten. I know I'm saying that correctly. So yeah, this is a ton of short stories, so it'll actually be something I read over a significant period of time. I'm not going to do it in one sitting. I have big plans after Christmas, and this might actually come with me to those big plans. I'm saying that so weirdly. I go to a lodge every Christmas. It's a tradition that my family has. So this will be coming with me so that if I am ever cold and in need of something to read, I can just read another creepy horror winter story. We'll shift gears just a little bit here and go back to something that's more similar to the first book, Kingdom of Sweets. Upon a Frosted Star by, I tried to say this earlier, M.A. Kuzniar, perhaps? This is a cross between Swan Lake and The Great Gatsby, which sounds cool. But it is a very wintry book, and it's not my usual genre because it's general fiction with a sprinkling of fantasy rather than an actual fantasy, but sometimes those books are the best, so we're gonna give it a try. Here is the blurb. The invitations always arrive the same way, without warning, appearing around the city on the first snowfall of the year, simply inscribed with "Tonight." One struggling artist, a theme in these books apparently, Forster finds an invitation, he's bewitched by the magic of the evening, swept up in the glamour of this notorious annual party and intrigued as to who is behind them. Determined to find out more about the mysterious host, Forster discovers an abandoned manor, silent with secrets, and a cursed woman who is desperate to be free. A bewitching new story inspired by The Great Gatsby and Swan Lake from the best-selling author of Midnight in Everwood, which is another ballet-related wintry book that I haven't read. Do I worry that this is going to be more fae? Yes, because I've seen Swan Lake. But there's something about this one specifically that I'm just so drawn to. I think it's the cover. I think it's the fact that it reminds me of ballet. And as much of the, you know, spooky bitch that I am, I love ballet. I'm a big ballet freak. I go to the ballet. Shut up! Ryan just called me a nerd. I go to the ballet several times a year. My favorite is Giselle. Look it up. Anyways. Let me just like open the first page and just feel the vibes, you know? The parties always started the same way. Oh, that was on the back of the book. Yeah, it's very flowery, and that feels right for this kind of literature. I feel okay. And there's a quote from Peter Pan. Oh, there's Peter Pan quotes throughout the whole thing. That's good. That's a good sign. It's set in the 20s. It's an urban fantasy, technically, sort of, I don't know. Which concerns me. But we're gonna try, okay? All right, this last book is very special. Before I show you the book, I need to read a little page from the front of it that will inform why I think it's so special. So just hold on. The telling or reading of ghost stories during long, dark, and cold Christmas nights is a Yuletide ritual dating back to at least the 18th century, and was once as much a part of Christmas tradition as decorating fir trees, feasting on goose, and singing of carols. During the Victorian era, many magazines printed ghost stories, specifically for the Christmas season. These winter tales didn't necessarily explore Christmas themes. Rather, they were offered as an eerie pleasure to be enjoyed on Christmas Eve with the family, adding a supernatural shiver to the seasonal chill. It goes on to talk about how this is still sort of popular in Britain, but really not popular at all in the US and Canada, where I am. So I have a copy of The Captain of the Polestar by Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote the Sherlock Holmes novels. This little tiny baby book is meant specifically to be read at Christmas time, just as a ghost story. And I think that's fantastic! I am a huge supporter of bringing back Christmas ghost stories, or as they put it, ghost stories at Christmas time that actually aren't even about Christmas. Because I totally agree, reading horror in the winter just adds something else. A whole other level of emotion is the only word that I can think of right now, of depth. Am I gonna read my future children ghost stories on Christmas Eve? Yeah, and they're gonna love it. So this story specifically, I actually don't have much info about it. It has little illustrations in here, but as far as I can tell, there's a haunted ship, and I like ships. We've talked about this before. I don't know if I can actually wait until Christmas Eve to read it. I'll reread it on Christmas Eve if I can't wait. So it's, but I'm also excited because this will be an easy one to add to my book total. Jones, why are you screaming? Yes? This will be an easy one to add to my book total to just like pad it at the end of the year. I'm one book away from hitting my goal. Anyways, Captain of the Polestar. So those were all of the Christmas specific books or holiday specific books. If I magically can read 5 books, well 4 books and then a collection of short stories before the end of December, I do have 3 other just wintry books that I would like to read in the winter that maybe I'll get to during December. Probably not. The first one I have here is actually an ARC from 2022 that I never read. And it's Ledge by Stacey McEwen. Your copy looks a lot different than my copy. Your copy probably looks like this. So this is an enemies to lovers romance set on a cliff, an ice cliff. I don't really actually know much about it because I forget. It's been a long time. It's her debut novel. And I don't know, the vibes are just very cold and romancy, apparently. I'm sorry, I can't say more about this book because I didn't look it up before the video and I forget. Then there is a horror, which I'm more likely to read than the last one. Near the Bone by Christina Henry. Most of Christina Henry's books are horror fairy tale reimagining. So she has like Alice in Wonderland, she has Peter Pan, she's got The Headless Horseman, which I have behind me, so not just like fairy tales, but fables and folk tales and stuff. Apparently the winter vibes in this are immaculate, so it is one that I really do hope I can get to, if not in December, then at least in January, because hopefully we'll still have snow by then. Alrighty, last book is The Steel Remains by Richard Morgan. I think it's just the fact that I've owned this book for a long time, and as far as I can tell, it's wintry, that makes me want to include it in this video. But now that I'm thinking about it more, it's probably not gonna happen. It's an epic fantasy. What else do you want? Yeah, okay. Takes place on the steppes. And steppes are always wintry in fantasy books. Thanks for coming to my video, guys. If you're gonna read any Christmas books, let me know. What, Ryan? Do you have something to say to me?
No, this is pretty normal day.
What books are you reading for the holidays? Are you reading any of the books that I listed in this video? Let me know in the comments below, or if there's anything that you think I should read. Remember, I'm not looking for Christmas romances. Christmas romances. No, thank you. I'm looking for horror, fantasy, Christmas science fiction. Maybe? Is that a thing? I don't know. Before I go, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell icon so you know when I upload new videos. I upload 2 days a week. I love you guys. Goodbye. Merry Christmas.